In the next edition of It's About Money, my guest will be Catherine Valleroy, and she's a poet and author. So we're excited to learn about her journey and hear about her vision of the art and how she is impacting the community. Join us for the next edition of It's About Money. Welcome to another edition of It's About Money. I am thrilled to have Catherine Valleroy join us. She's a poet and author, and she's here to talk about her art form and the impact she wants to make in our community. Catherine, thank you for joining us today. So let's start with talking about your journey as a poet and author.
I started when I was 8 years old. I wrote poetry to express myself and my imagination. And my journey has really been always about discovering who I am through words. And in turn, I think what has happened is as I discover who I am, my audience is able to feel empowered to discover who they are.
Very nice. And what a introspective thing to be 8 years old and be writing about poetry and about yourself. That's very impressive. Is your creative process different as a poet and an author? Actually, let's stop first and say, what kind of poetry do you write?
I write poetry that is storytelling. I write accessible poetry. Sometimes poetry can really intimidate people because they don't understand, or why did the poet use that word, or what could they mean? I try and be very, very accessible. And in doing that, I tell a story. So, I do haiku, I do some of the more structured forms of poetry. But really, again, it's self-expression.
Got it. And is that the case too when you author, you write articles and books? And tell me about your work as an author.
I actually have done a couple of venues. In terms of my work, I started writing 30 years ago a trilogy of books called Better Look, Better Looking, and Seeing. And that had to do with looking at myself to know who I am and finally coming to see who I am. So that was a lot of poetic expression. Then what I did was make it accessible. I did a spoken word album. And I had a producer that did background music for me. This is available on SoundCloud. It's under Catherine Valleroy. And it's about 9 pieces. So I do write in my blog about what a poem has to do with it, what a book has to do with. My creative process is always partnering with other artists. Oddly enough, I have partnered with Sue Beggy, the sculptor. She did a project for writers and books where we did poetry and she interpreted it through sculpture.
Nice.
I, as I said, done the albums. I have a beautiful painter, Nancy Wiley, who has done an interpretation of my poem, Grocery Shopping. And we're doing a poster together with the poem and her painting, which is just incredibly lovely. So, when I go out and I do speaking engagements, so a lot of the time I'll do spoken word in front of an audience. I guess you could say I do prose and poetry.
Gotcha. Okay. Beautiful. That's really great. I love the collaboration between you and other artists, Why not, right? Because then you could leave the interpretation to the person enjoying the art, but you could help them too and show how 2 artists can come together.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really great. That's beautiful. Is your creative process different? Like, how do you do it? Like, it's hard for me. I could say I'm some creativity in me, but not like an artist like you. How do you start the process of being creative? Is that like a light switch? Like, is there like a ritual that you go through?
Yes. It's a very spiritual process for me. I'm big into meditation. And so I try and center myself to find my inner voice. So frequently I will meditate. and then I would journal. There's a wonderful book called The Artist's Way that has you do morning pages. And that's where I really, and they have you scribe 3 pages just nonstop. Like literally, you're not even taking the pen off the paper.
Oh, wow.
You're writing just what turns up inside of you. And that's kind of how my process is. It's a very spiritual process. I believe that in some ways I'm a conduit to the universe.
Yes.
And it comes through me if I allow it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I stop to just get in line with what the universe has to offer.
Yes. Be open to it, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And I love that. So really in the stream of thoughts for 3 pages or whatever, you could carve out some things that you're going to pick up on and write about.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
imagining what you're telling me. So.
Yes. And I run a meditation group. And part of our meditation is to do writing after we've centered ourselves with 3 different types of meditation. And a lot of my poetry has come out of that. As a matter of fact, I'm doing a book of prose about that called Meditations from the Stone Soup Saga.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a Stone Soup Saga because we do a lot of different traditions. And as the meditators have come to me over the 13 years that I've been running this group, it has to do with bringing different traditions, being open to people bringing different traditions. We don't sit with just guided meditation. We don't sit, cross-legged and meditate for a half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
We do a bunch of different types of meditations. And the people that have participated in this over 13 years, many of them are getting a chapter in the book, and they're sharing the writings that they've done over the years.
Uh-huh.
So it's almost like a sort of a journal of people's process, self-help even.
Sure. I love this. So in my mind, you're not only creative, but you're helping others bring the creativity out of them.
Yes.
That's great. That's beautiful. And you can help each other out. The universe has this way of balancing things out, right? When you give it, it comes back to you. So if you think about your audience, what do you think of the impact that you'd like to bring to your audience from your art form?
Bravery. Bravery. I'd say my poetry is very brave. And I'd say that it's very introspective. And some of the struggles that I've written about have to do with my own personal journey. And in a sense, I want to give my audience permission to have their own personal journey. Mm-hmm. So what I do is, in my books, I put a journal in the back. So when someone has read through the book and have been moved to think about their own life, I put a journal in the back of the book so that people can write out poetry or express how they're feeling. So yeah, I want it to be a shared experience.
Yeah. So you want to capture their thoughts at the time that they're after they have had a chance to read and reflect on it. That's great. That's why. So it's more meaningful and it sticks with you more when you spend some time doing that.
It's growth. It's growth for both of us.
Yeah. So talk to me about bravery. What help me define that? Do we mean that people are afraid sometimes to think about themselves and understanding themselves? How do you define that? Like when you say
that's a good question. Bravery has to do with the willingness to impart who you are. I think, from my own experience, and so much of what this has to do with is my own process of becoming brave. I struggled in my career because I wasn't being true to myself. I'm really a poet, and that's what I wanted to be all along. And I got sort of waylaid in a career path. And it was very brave of me to leave that career path, to really pursue who am I and expressing it poetically and artistically. But in terms of, I take a lot of risks and chances with my writing because I do disclose very openly. As a matter of fact, I would love to share a poem with you at some point.
Sure. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. This is about as brave as you can get, I think. It's about my process of leaving the workforce. It's called Last Days at Work. I wake up selfish, yesterday's makeup under my eyes. We reach for each other, both preoccupied with the day ahead. Our son, half asleep somewhere in the background, is about to be carted off. I reach for my breakfast, coffee and Prozac. We kiss goodbye. Excruciating the time from when I hear your car leave to when my bathrobe hits the cold floor. Excruciating when I can see yesterday washing down the drain. Pain flung aside like the shower curtain, I dry and suit up into sausage casing, forcing size 6 clothes over a 10 body. I elevate, grab more coffee, and race out the door. Excruciating the time from the driveway to the office already late. Excruciating my manic manner and pangs of loneliness. I arrive with these secrets, hoping for conversation rather than piles of work. Throughout the day, I binge on coffee and water and business lunches. I binge on people and projects and spur-of-the-moment shopping sprees. Nothing fills me. So I go home selfish to exercise and plan tomorrow's outfit, existing on the outskirts of my family, myself. So I think that's very honest. And I think a lot of us have a struggle with that. And the balance. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be in the workforce. I am saying that, don't lose yourself.
Sure.
I lost myself.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Beautifully written. And as you sing, you read the poetry, I have this vision in my head, the casing and all that stuff. Like, oh, wow.
Very honest, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's terrific. And then after you put words, how does it feel? Like, so it's there. It's in black and white, right? How does it feel after that? Like you put it away? It's how people giving you feedback?
Yes. There's a lot of synergy and a lot of connection.
Mm-hmm.
And how do I feel? I feel relieved. I feel as though my expression has allowed me to calm down and come back into my own self.
Mm-hmm. Nice. That's great. I love it. I love that you're so authentic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice. That's great. We're going to take a little bit of break and then we will be right back. My name is Nannette Nocon. It's about money, and my guest is Catherine Valleroy. We'll be right back.
I know sometimes we get into it, and it's just hard on both of us. But try to understand me more, and I'll try to do the same. But you have excuses because you're old. So it's okay.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
And we're back. I'm Nannette Nocon. It's about money. My guest is Catherine Valleroy, and she's a poet and author. It's been delightful talking about your poetry and your sense of perspective and your authentic self. Really wonderful. So one of the struggles that artists have when I talk to them is the challenge of balancing the focus on art and perhaps not bringing enough money to sustain our life, because there's the rent, there's the mortgage payment, the telephone, food, things like that. How did you get to that point of balancing?
Well, I'm still exploring that. What I've done is I'm in product development right now. My books, my albums, the poster, speaking engagements, the sangha that I run. And I actually have trademarked this.
Nice.
So at some point I will monetize. Now the books do make money.
Mm-hmm.
Am I supporting myself? Not yet, but I'm putting in place a business plan to do exactly that. And how I've been able to do this is I've been wise with my money from when I worked before. So, but at some point I've got to monetize, or else I am going to worry about the groceries and the rent and things like that. But really, it's product development right now, coming up with a wonderful product. And my product is Catherine's Poetic Life, all the aspects of how you live a life poetically.
Sure, that's great. And I think of life as a business, right? In a way, you're the CEO, fundraiser, you are all of that, right? For our own lives. And some people are fortunate enough to hire people to do that, help them do that. But for the most part, we have to do all of those aspects of running a business, running our life. And how do we run our life to create the balance that we want and also generate enough income? Now, talk to me about you've always had this artistic gift from age 8 that you've been writing. And was there a point in your life where you said, I need to make a living? And your poetry tells me that you did that you had a job. Were you able to do your art form while you were doing your job too?
Yes.
Okay.
I've never stopped working. As a matter of fact, the first book that came out, Better Look, was written when I was in my 30s.
I see.
And it had to do with my progression from being in the workforce to needing to stop and take time to center myself again. And your aspect about the business, I did business for everybody else. I built other people's dreams. And I have a very good business sense. And now I'm bringing that to my own self.
Wonderful. That's great. That's great. Sometimes you offer so much help that we forgot to take care of
Truly.
ourselves. So that's really beautiful.
Truly.
That is great. So it sounds like you are finding that balance.
Yes.
Like and you actually, your experience before, it appears to have given you some material to write about,
yes.
right?
Definitely.
Yeah, because then if it's all just a silo in terms of art, it's hard to come up with the subject of the experience. Yes. And right, sounds good. So talk to me about the view of balance. What does balance mean to you?
Balance means if you don't have balance, as the poem that I expressed, be open to looking at that. Be honest with yourself. And balance is the process of going from one extreme to the other and finding the center. It's like a pendulum.
Yes.
I think in life, we're always going from one extreme to another. And as we do that, we're passing through the middle. And that's the sweet spot, if you will.
Sure. Right.
So balance for me has to do with just realizing what I need to do in my life. That's being honest and authentic.
Sure. Yeah. You need somebody. We all need somebody to hold the stop sign, right? When
Truly.
we're going too extreme on the other side, stop, take a step back, kind of, and then we go to the other extreme, and then, or sometimes you find the balance in between, but we're not listening to it.
And sometimes we're so extreme to be isolated and thinking only of yourself that you're kind of ignoring the world around you.
Sure.
So that balance is in the center.
I got it. Okay. Yeah, okay. That's a different, the balance that you're talking about is the focus on others and the focus on ourselves.
Right.
And creating that
Right.
fine. Yeah, got it. Okay, that sounds good. So talk to us about your upcoming project. You've done the trilogy. It seems like that fits
Yes.
you well. And you've got a new project going on.
Yes, actually, I'm finishing the trilogy with my books. Better Look and Better Looking are out on Barnes & Noble and Amazon online.
Okay.
The third book, Seeing, is coming out in October. And that ends the trilogy. Now I've gone from self-introspection to emotional intelligence, and I'm writing children's books. And based on stories that I've watched kids explore and thrive by being around healthy adults who model for them, but also who step back and let a child be a child. So that's my big project right now. I work in trilogies for some reason. I have a book called Need Love that's coming out in August.
Oh, nice.
Again, on Barnes & Noble and Ingram's and Amazon, all online. The next book is called Don't Be Afraid. And the third book is called Sharing is Caring.
Got it.
And I have a wonderful illustrator that I'm working with right now. So the books are illustrated. They're very short. It's a poem that's very short. And it's something that I think will benefit families.
Mhm. And these are little books. So what do you call them? Tiny books or
Children's books.
children's books? Okay,
Yes.
they just have a different size. So what is the market? There's children.
Mhm.
And do you envision that an adult would help the child read through and think it through?
Educators.
Educators. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
I think, emotional intelligence has a lot to do with, especially developmentally, where a child is.
Mhm.
So the educators, parents sharing family time. As a matter of fact, on my blog, I did some research to find out where's the need? Where are the teachers? Where can they take educational material like my books and share it with children
Yes.
and then start a dialogue?
Right, right. Yeah, that's great. I mean, when you start getting the children to think about those deep stuff early on in life, guide them. There's a lot of wonderful base as we move forward. It's interesting you talked about emotional intelligence because many people think it's IQ that leads to success, whether it's financial or career or any other way of success. But it turns out that emotional intelligence, right, is more better indicator of our success in life as opposed to IQ.
Right.
A combination of the two would be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Yes, yes. And I think emotional intelligence gives you a way of navigating the world without losing yourself.
Right. And I love the focus that you have on the children because that's really where it starts, right? A lot of sociopaths end up being that way because they didn't get the love they needed when they were little.
Right.
Or it's like, oh, this is so sad because you look
Right.
it back like, oh no, that's terrible.
Right. And the book Need Love has to do with asking for love when you're overwhelmed. It's a story of a child who is dismayed and overwhelmed by how overwhelmed they are.
Sure.
And going to an adult and actually raising their hands and saying, need love. I'm overwhelmed.
Sure.
But the words just are need love.
Yeah.
That's all they need to say.
And everybody understands what that means, right? Whether it's a hug response or something.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
Right.
Beautiful. That's great. It's nice that you found an illustrator to partner with.
Oh, she's amazing.
Yeah.
She's amazing. And we really did it in a sense of being genderless and raceless. Because I want this to be very accessible to all children, all families, all adults.
And when you say accessible, you want the price point to be such that it's easier for people to make that purchase, or accessible in what other way? Or interpretation?
Interpretation. I think accessible in terms of just not being so complicated, because you can certainly complicate what emotional intelligence is. You can try and say too much to a child.
Yeah.
And just let them be as they are.
Sure, sure. That's beautiful. That's great. So, what is the best place for viewers to experience your art? You've mentioned some of the outlets, like the bigger online companies, and then bookstores. And do you do like readings?
I
for these?
do.
Okay.
I do. I have just recently done the Little Cafe. Writers and Books had me. I go to Orange Glory Cafe and do a lot of spoken word. I just have a couple of things in the hopper right now in terms of other coffee shops and places like that I will be doing spoken word.
Right,
And
okay.
probably Fringe Fest at some point.
Oh, sure. Yeah, Fringe is great. We love the Fringe.
Oh, yes.
It's great. That's terrific. It's nice that you're thinking of ways not only to continue your the expression of your art, poetry, and giving back to the community, but also finding outlets for this to take place. Right? We have to be creative when we're trying to deliver our message, right? And having those coffee talks are good.
Right. And I take advantage of social media. That is one thing that I do a great deal of. I have a blog, which is called A-Poetic-Life. And it's all my progression in terms of my writing, in terms of my own personal development, which never stops. And then I have social media, Catherine with a C, Catherine's Poetic Life. I have a YouTube channel, TikTok, pretty much everything.
Got it.
And people can see my performances that I've done in the past.
Great. I never knew
Fantastic.
anybody with the TikTok typing.
Oh, I know. Well, the young
The
people
first
said
one.
you gotta have.
I was
you
thinking
gotta
of
have
TikTokers dancing, but it's not that
Well,
only.
you know what? It's funny. As a matter of fact, I did a shot with my mother for TikTok. She's 95 years old,
Ah,
and she loves my poetry. She's my biggest fan. We had 40,000 hits.
oh my gosh.
I know. The kids are on to something.
Yeah, right. I love it. I love it. So does your mother have an artistic side to her as well?
She fostered it in me.
Okay.
I think she has a very good business sense.
Uh-huh.
I think she's a helper
Mm-hmm.
of people. She was a counselor for many years.
I see.
So she's encouraged me to be authentic and honest.
Yes. Oh, very nice. That's great. What a nice gift to be able to relate what you love, your passion with your mom. And at her age, wow, what a gift, right?
She's amazing.
Yeah.
She is
That
amazing.
is great. I love it. I love it. Are you from Rochester?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Grew
That's
up,
great.
I was born in New Jersey, but moved here when I'm 2. So
I see.
by default, I am a Rochesterian.
Oh, it's lovely. I just really appreciate the gift that you give, because sometimes people have a particular talent, skill, intelligence in something, but it's not as worthwhile. I don't mean that. It's not as valuable, I should say, unless you share it with others, right? The value increases because then, whether it's monetary or whatever other way,
Right.
but the value goes higher,
Right.
goes up with that.
Right.
That's great. Well, I wish you a lot of good fortune and luck, but that's hard work and dedication, and being true to yourself will get you there, right? So that's really
Yes.
good. I'm looking forward to your book release in September 2025 on the children's book, and I hope the trilogy is going to be successful, like the first 2 of your first trilogy, right? And when would the last of the 3 come out, or is that out already?
The poetry book,
Uh-huh.
Seeing, will come out in October. So
Oh,
kind of
okay.
for the Christmas market.
I see.
And now I get to market all 3 of the books together
I see.
because they really kind of are a progression.
Got it.
So yeah, that'll be the final one. In
Very
that I
nice.
won't stop writing poetry, but in terms of self-disclosure and development, that's
very
kind of the
nice.
end of the process.
Like a family deal. That's
Yes.
great. Well, thank you, Catherine. It's been a pleasure having you on our show, and wishing you the very best, and we'll be on the lookout for your books.
Terrific. Thank you very much.
And thank you, our audience, for joining us today. I'm Nannette Nocon. My guest was Catherine Valleroy. And until next time, it's about money.